What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Shoe.com,
and we are here for Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Yes, let's take it back to Sicario.
Amazing movie.
Villeneuve, arguably one of the most prolific filmmakers right now. Gave us Blade Runner 2049.
Disappointment.
Prisoners.
For me, amazing.
But you were like one of the few people who didn't like Blade Runner 2049. I still haven't seen that movie, actually, so I still got to see it. But I pretty much loved everything else that guy's touched. Great stuff. Sicario. Unbelievable. And now, when I hear they're making a Sicario sequel, I'm a little nervous. But, you know, Thanos, the collector. You have Josh Brolin, Benicio Del Toro.
You really can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, very, very, very talented cast. And we can only hope that it is able to somewhat capture. The only thing going forward that we do know is that Taylor Sheridan, the guy who also wrote the first Sicario, is back writing this script.
Yes.
He's the same guy who gave us Wind River last year.
Which was
a very talented writer.
Yeah, the
guy
awesome.
knows what he's doing. So.
And Taylor already announced he's always had in the plan a trilogy.
Yes, for Sicario.
Yeah, so they already announced that. So I'm assuming this one ends with us.
Well, we'll have to talk about it. But first off, you just got a Sicario Day Soldado. What did you think?
It didn't hit Sicario.
Yeah.
That might have been because of the lack of Emily Blunt, just because I love her. I don't know. But overall, intense. And one of the greatest aspects of this particular series, or in the two we've had, the score. They just like, that score, man, hits you every part of the movie. It's so intense. You know, because I was imagining if you like took out the music, you know, and it would just, that's the power of the score. You know, so the score, amazing. As Josh Brolin was talking, all I saw was Thanos, and I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, I loved it. And Benicio Del Toro, you definitely didn't see the collector doing crazy crap, but Benicio Del Toro, when he's serious like he is with the role that he has in here, it hits the mark for me. It just, to me, it wasn't as good as the first one, but that's not a knock. You know, I enjoyed this a lot. It's intense as hell. I definitely would recommend for people to watch it. Really enjoyed myself.
You know, I don't totally disagree. I think our reviews are on the same page. Maybe I didn't like it just as much as you, but I do think it is still a solid thriller. But I think it's a step down for Sicario. My only problem with it is that I think if this movie wasn't related, and you just have this movie and kind of unrelated to Sicario, I think it works even better. Because the problem is I just think that how developed and complex Del Toro and Brolin's characters are in the original Sicario, and then we bring them here, there are things that definitely feel questionable for character choices, kind of makes them a little bit more wavery than you know, they had been, and so like were perfectly developed in that first movie. I had said it when that movie came out, and and there were talks of a sequel. That's a movie that should just stand on its own. I appreciate that there are definitely great characters in which audiences really wanted to continue, but I just didn't think it was necessary. But I think what really lacks here, especially comparing to the first Sicario, is this really depthful, kind of complex ideology addressing really incredible themes such as, you know, I mean, the first Sicario really tackled the war on drugs, you know, American ignorance, you know, maybe the American naiveness about the war on drugs and the cartel and our involvement, and pretty much that whole ideology is represented through Emily Blunt's character. And I think that's why I think it's even stronger that, you know, she plays such a pivotal role, only to only to find out she doesn't have a pivotal role. And I think that's like one of the most rewarding things about that movie. This movie, I think it starts really strong and offers some really
those opening sequences, oh my god,
some daunting and really disturbing imagery.
Bombs and stuff.
And then we kind of obviously go into a little bit of a different direction. I mean, that's part of the forefront. But, you know, Brolin is great. Benicio Del Toro is great. There are some really great tense sequences in the movie. The score is good, not as good as the score of Sicario. But, I mean, yeah, overall, I walked out of the movie not disappointed and pretty satisfied. I thought I was going to actually walk away quite disappointed, and that didn't end up turning out. So I guess in all sense that's a positive. But I just think you put this to the back of its predecessor, it really lacks what makes Sicario arguably one of the better movies in the last 5 years. I mean, that movie is so great, and I get so excited when people bring it up or they talk about it and they see it, recently, and they always say, "You see Sicario?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Sicario is great," and I ask them all about it, just because I think it talks about so much and it addresses so many things. This movie taps on immigration and a few other items, but it doesn't feel like it's really trying to say something strong about it, as much as we're just following these two larger-than-life characters in the movie. I guess we don't need a spoiler edition.
No.
A spoiler section of this review. But overall, I mean, I think that there were some choices with Brolin's character that started a specific way, and he kind of is this certain character in the first Sicario and at the start of the Sicario, and the wavering of his character was kind of bothersome to me. And Benicio Del Toro, I think, was better as a more of like a behind presence rather than like always being at the forefront. It's just like as if he was the shark in Jaws. I mean, in the first Sicario, he's not there all the time. Where in this movie, he's constantly in your face, and it kind of takes away a little bit of that like ambiance to that character. But I mean, he actually doesn't disappoint. And Isabela Moner from Transformers, the young girl in this movie, also is quite good, and her chemistry with Benicio Del Toro really works. So overall, I think it's a solid movie. I don't think I'll remember it as well as I will Sicario. I don't think it leaves that lasting impression. I do believe that we can definitely advance and make another film from here. I don't know if it's exactly what we should do, but either way, I mean, Taylor Sheridan is definitely at least producing solid scripts, to say the least. I mean, it's not as strong as his first, but again, a solid movie that I think everyone can enjoy if they're into thrillers with some very intense stuff. Even though like the first Sicario had some really also intense opening sequence. I mean, that sequence in the house when they're finding all these bodies is really crazy. But this one definitely taps your heartstrings a little bit more.
Yeah, that opening sequence with the bombs.
Yeah, the market is a really intense sequence. But yeah. On
a lighter
solid
note,
stuff.
Next week
we're gonna.
Oh yeah, we also did a review for Uncle Drew. Ding.
Yeah. Well, on a lighter note as well. But next week we're gonna tone down the risk and the disturbing imagery.
Film
and
number
the sadness,
20.
And we're gonna jack up the silliness with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know about you.
Paul Rudd.
Sure. But who's the real star of Ant-Man and the Wasp? I'm excited to see the one and only
Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
We'll
Catwoman.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Catwoman in action here in a Marvel movie. Yeah, I mean, I like the first Ant-Man. It's not a movie that I've revisited.
I haven't watched it once since.
But you know what? I could also say that there's only a few. I think I've only revisited 3 or 4 Marvel movies in total.
Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Civil War I saw like 3 times in theaters. Thor Ragnarok I watched twice. Black Panther I saw 3 times. And Iron Man 3 I saw multiple times. I think there's a few others, but those are like the main ones that I would do. Yeah. But I liked Ant-Man. I remember being like positive. It's not a movie that I could remember all of, or I'm sure I'd be a little hazy if I revisited. Not all of it was very memorable, but I think everyone just likes Paul Rudd. It's hard not to like him. He's a very charismatic guy and very fun in his kind of like nerdy type way. So join us for that. It's going to be a big movie. We'll be here the day after 4th of July here at AMC Town Square on July 5th at 10 p.m. for our premiere screening for that, so you don't want to miss that. Make sure to text this guy right here, or leave a comment section below if you want to join us for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I love it. It's going to be exciting. Film number 20 and 2 post-credit scenes, I was told.
Yeah, mid-credit and post-credit, yep.
Love it.
Yep.
So then I'm assuming we're going to see maybe what happens in Infinity War. Maybe.
Yeah, because this movie does take place. If you guys aren't aware, which I'm sure most of you already are, this movie does take place in the timeline before Infinity War.
Yes.
So that could be quite interesting because a lot of people wondered where Ant-Man was during the
what he
debacle.
was doing. Well, he was doing it the whole time of this huge war going on.
When he should have just been grabbing Star-Lord.
Shame, man. Shame, man.
Also, if you're not into giant ants and good laughs, we have the first Purge opening next week as well. So our review will be posted for that, and we'll be having that. Yeah. Prequel right before the television program.
Yes. All right, guys. So make sure you hit us up, come to it, and ChaseandCinema.com is known as
the Film Lovers website.